now the power and the data is coming through this composite fiber optic cable. Hi tech enthusiasts, welcome back to FASTCABLING. Let me tell you a story about modern frustration. Imagine you finally get Starlink at your countryside home. You are online, browsing, streaming, it's a miracle. But then you look out the window, 300 meters away, there's your workshop with security cameras. It might as well be on another planet. No internet signal reaches it, no power lines run to it. It's a digital desert right in your own backyard. And this is the reality for so many rare properties. You've solved the ISP problem with Starlink, but now you are locked in a battle with physics, distance, power, and the elements. So how do we get the Starlink dish 300 meters to the other building? Your first thought might be a powerful Wi-Fi extender, but over 300 meters of open land with trees and weather, the signal will be a ghost, unreliable, slow, and dead on a rainy day. Copper Ethernet cable? Forget it. Standard Ethernet hits a hard wall at 100 meters. That voltage drops, data gets corrupted, so it's a non-starter. And then there's power. The remote site likely has none. What about running separate AC power line? Incredibly expensive, and you're now managing two separate infrastructure. It feels like impossible. So the hero of our story is a single cable that looks simple. It's called a composite fiber optic cable. So inside its tough outdoor-rated jacket are two key components: delicate strings of glass for data and sturdy copper wires for power. This is the master key. The fiber strings are immune to electromagnetic interference, carry data at lightning speed over kilometers, not just meters, and the copper wires running right alongside them deliver direct current DC power. So one cable, one trench, two problems solved. This is the backbone of our entire solution. So our journey starts at the source, the Starlink dish. Now its number one issue in setup is power instability. We know that the power cord provided is limited, so if we want to place the Starlink dish further, we need robust, flexible, and stable power delivery. And the solution is a high wattage, outdoor rated 150 watts power injector, purpose-built for Starlink. This rugged little box does one critical job. It takes in power and outputs stable PoE to the dish. And its beauty is in its flexibility. You can mount it on a pole or a wall, and it sends the dish clean and reliable power right where it needs to be. We're not using it today, but if you want to know how to mount it, you can watch our other video for how to set this up. So now we have internet at the main house. Time to send it on the 300 meters journey. This is a three-part operation. Step 1, the translator. At the Starlink side, we need a translator, a device that speaks both Ethernet and fiber. And that's our fiber media converter. Now it takes the Ethernet cable from our Starlink router and convert the electrical signal into beams of light and shoot them into fiber string. So let's power this up. And we'll place it on our demonstration board using a short patch cord to connect our fiber media converter to the Starlink dish. Now step 2, the highway. We need our composite fiber optic cable. We choose this 2-string pre-made cable, meaning the ends come with connectors already perfectly attached. In this case, we're using LC connector and it's single mode. So there's no fussing with fragile fiber splicing in the field. You can just plug and play. And for the data, we use the standard 1 gigabit SFP module. Tech 10 gig is overkill. 1 gig is more than enough for the Starlink speed. And we can even use this special BD module that sends and receives data over a single fiber string, making the installation cleaner. So let's slide it into our fiber media converter. This is where you connect to the fiber optic cable. Since we have 2 strings, so let's use string A, and we can leave string B for spare. Just plug it all the way in. And now the power side, we recommend DC composite cable. Inside, alongside the fiber are these copper wires. We send a higher DC voltage like 48 volt or even 55 volt from the main building. Why? Physics. Over 300 meters voltage drops. Starting higher means enough voltage to survive the trip to be useful. And we have to calculate the power budget. For example, setting 80 watts and 55 volt over 300 meters to ensure the remote end gets the juice. So now the power and the data is coming through this composite fiber optic cable. So step 3, the remote outpost. At the other end, 300 meters away, the light pods arrive, and here we have another device waiting. This could be another hardened media converter, or better yet, an outdoor PoE switch. This is our 8-port managed PoE switch. It builds like a tank. It takes the fiber input and converts the light back into electrical data. It has 2 SFP slots, so I'm going to plug in the SFP transceiver to connect with the fiber optic cable. It also has 8 PoE ports to power cameras, access point sensors, whatever that remote building needs. And the beauty is, this switch can be powered directly by the DC voltage coming through the copper wires in our composite cable. So there's no local AC power needed. It's a self-contained network hub. This is IP67 waterproof rated. And for truly off-grid spot, this switch are compatible with solar panel and battery inputs, making the entire length sustainable. Now that we've built our bridge, but we must defend it. Fiber itself doesn't care about lightning, but the power lines running alongside it do. A surge from a nearby strike can travel up those copper wires and fry thousands of dollars in equipment. So our shield is a DC surge protector. Let me open this up. Now we can install it right next to our outdoor PoE switch before our composite fiber optic cable enters. Now this device acts like a sacrificial gatekeeper, absorbing massive voltage spikes, thousands of volts in less than 25 nanoseconds, directing that destructive energy safely to the ground. So proper grounding is non-negotiable here. Every piece of outdoor metal, the surge protector, the switch enclosure must be grounded. This isn't just about equipment safety, it's about preventing fire hazard. So inside this surge protector, the fiber optic cable comes through here. The copper wires is connected to the circuit breaker and also the surge protector as well. So we have safe energy and clean energy coming out to our PoE switch. And what about the fiber optic cable? It goes in the back, joined by a fiber coupler. So we're using this fiber patch cord to connect with our fiber optic cable. Now let's turn on our circuit breaker. The fiber string goes here and connects with our SFP transceiver, and the copper wires is connected to the switch. So now that we can send PoE that's both power and data through a single Ethernet cable. Today we're connecting to 2 devices. One is our Wi-Fi access point. We have 2 ports. Make sure you plug it into the PoE port. And it'll need to take some time. So now we can see the indicator light is on. It's getting the power and the data. And next is our bullet camera. Again, plug in the internet cable so we can get the data and the power straight from our outdoor PoE switch. So let's look at the complete picture. At the main house, we have the Starlink router connected to a media converter and directly to our composite fiber optic cable. And at the outside, we are protected by the surge protector and connected to this 8-port outdoor PoE switch so you can connect to multiple devices. Now the composite fiber optic cable carries both high-speed lights and robust DC power over 300 meters. So now we turned an impossible problem into an elegant solution. We conquered distance with fiber optics and we solved the power problem by sending it on the same journey. The remote building is no longer a digital desert, it's a connected oasis. So what remote project would you like to connect? Let us know in the comment section below. And thank you very much for joining us. Please don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this deep dive and subscribe for more tech solution. And I'll see you in our next video.